No black cats, just straight facts.
Triple P certified.
Listen, we can talk about odds all day. It doesn't matter what the odds are. It matters what's gonna happen.
Welcome to the Perfect Play Pursuit. I'm coming off of the heels of a heater of a lifetime, ladies and gentlemen. This episode, Alex and I decided to do recorded. We, for 5 years, we did the show completely pre-recorded. Over the last few months, we've done it live. This episode is a special episode, so we're gonna give it to you guys completely uncut. In case we get too uncut, now we can edit. But we're gonna try our best to just deliver to you the most candid information about the direction of the show, Dan's future with the show, and obviously we're going to talk about Diego Lopez knocking out John Silva, Diego Lopez winning me over $2,000, Diego Lopez leading me into a beautiful night with Bud Crawford, leading me into a 7-leg NFL parlay, leading me into 2 out of 2 Monday Night Football. Guys, I am quite literally up $2,607.37 net profit, gross profit, take-home cash. Lost a lot of hedges and lost a lot of cash outs along the way, but that was the plunder of the weekend from Saturday to Monday. And here we are to talk about it. As you can see, we started year 6, May 9th, and with $1,000 in my bank account, I've brought that up now to $2,293. I'm up 120 units. Now compare that to Best Bets Ian Parker, who, albeit, he's got 5 months. He starts his season in January, but Homeboy is down equally as much units, and ESPN is calling that show Best Bets. So you're here with us, the Perfect Parlay Pursuit. We pursued the perfect parlay. We've achieved the perfect parlay, which is betting every single fight that the UFC offers to us as a parlay, getting them all correct. I've done it. Alex has done it. Even Dan's done it. And if you guys are new to the show, this show began May 9th, 2020, when Tony Ferguson fought Justin Gaethje. 3 brothers, me and Alex being literal brothers, Dan and I being fraternity brothers. And we started the show. We brought entertainment to the world. When sports came back to the world, we started the pursuit. We achieved the pursuit. And it's been 6 years. Alex, how you doing? How was your weekend?
Great viewing experience. Terrific fights. Always a banger when the UFC's in Paris. Always a banger when it's a Mexican night. When it's a Dilos de los Muertos type of night. Yeah. I think they should have more Mexican themed nights, like a Dia de los Muertos type of night. We need to get a Cinco de Mayo card. We need more Mexican pride in the UFC, because every time its name is attached to Noche, it is a night of excellent fights.
I couldn't agree more. It was a good night of fights, a lot of knockouts, a lot of finishes. So as far as picks go, Alex and I, we gave you, as far as triple B certified picks go, double B certified picks. Tatiana Suarez lost, Claudia Puelles lost, Dusko Tudorovic won, Santiago Luna won, Dustin Solvitz lost, Rafa Garcia won, Diego Lopes won. So
wait, what girl fight did we get wrong?
Tatiana Suarez did win.
Tatiana Suarez won.
She won. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 out of 1, 2. 5 out of 5 for 7. 5 out of 7 picks double B certified were correct. Dustin Stolfitz and Claudia Puelles. Now, I actually changed my mind on Puelles and did put a bet in on Silva before the fight started. I put that in my open bet sheet, and we were able to get a little bit of the money lost back at that point. Then I bet all of that on Martinez. So I basically started my winning night with Silva over Puelles. Joaquin Silva, $150 bet, paid $330. I took all $330. I put it on Martinez. That paid $693. That put me into break-even territory. So at this point, I have Santiago Luna, Alexander Hernandez, and Diego Lopez on a 3-leg parlay, $200 to pay $2,144. I use my 693 to hedge on Silva. Put a lot on Silva by KO because I thought that was his best path. Put a little bit on him by decision, which I would have won money on. Kind of put me in a situation where if Lopez won or if Silva won by decision, I'm winning money. And then Silva by submission, put a little bit on that because it was 10-1 just for break even. So $200 bet cashed, paid back $21.44. All in all, came away with about $1,000 in profit when you consider the hedges and the lost bets throughout the night. But happy to see Diego get the win. Happy to win $1,000, and it kept rolling from there. I threw it on Bud Crawford. I had a 7-leg NFL parlay hit on Sunday. Really great weekend for me. The NFL parlay was let me see here. Los Angeles Rams, Detroit Lions, San Francisco 49ers, Cincinnati Bengals, Buffalo Bills, and then the Colts and the Eagles. So $50 paid $13.31. Guys, I'm ashamed to say that with 8 seconds left in the Cowboys game, I cashed out a bet that was a similar parlay that included the Cowboys and would have paid me another $2,000. I thought the Cowboys had lost the game. I was surprised they were still offering me any money to cash out. I cashed it out. Really, but I feel like that reverse jinxed me where it led to the other bet, the Colts winning, for example, or the who else? The Colts won. There was another game that was kind of close, but yeah, it was overall a really great weekend. No complaints. The fight card itself, I thought Alexander Hernandez, Santiago Luna performed valiantly. I thought Diego Lopez performed valiantly. It was so good to see him just like not acknowledging John Silva's talk or his high fives or his bullshit and just putting him on his back, making him uncomfortable, knocking him out. Him pushing him after, Diego Lopez talking all that shit. Everything was great. I was literally wearing my Dream, Believe, Make It Happen shirt that I wore the night he lost to Volkanovski. We won it all back. We did it. Very proud of Diego Lopez, very happy for him. And if Dustin Solfitz would have won, we would have had a bigger night too. Thought he was gonna get one over on Kelvin, but once I realized that Kelvin probably is making $500,000 or total if he wins, 35% of 500,000 is twice as much as 35% of 250,000, right? Or whatever Kelvin's making. I mean, I think Dustin stood to gain a lot more if he lost that fight from the fine on the weight miss than he did if he won. And who told you guys Kelvin was going to miss weight? I mean, sure, it was obvious, but we literally said on this podcast, Kelvin is 100% missing weight. We saw him eating the tacos on his Instagram.
Yeah, classless, terrible person, constantly robbing opportunities from people. Hasn't made weight in like his last 5 fights, I don't think. Absolute terrible competitor. Everybody knows Kelvin Gastelum with his frame, he should at least be a welterweight, maybe even a lightweight. But guy is not disciplined whatsoever and never makes the weight and can't even make the weight at 185. He's like 5'6".
I'm tracking this. So first missed weight was 2014, 2015 to, let's see, in this is only his 3rd reported weight miss.
I think
Why does it feel like he always misses weight?
I think he's done some
maybe like
catch weight.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Well, we knew it was going to happen. Really, you should cut Kelvin for the same reason you cut fucking, what's his name?
Brian Battle.
Cut Kelvin for the same reason you cut Brian Battle.
More of a reason to cut Kelvin. You're paying him a lot more money for a way worse product than you're getting from Brian Battle.
He doesn't do interviews it's not like he's like fucking one of the fighting nerds, which brings me to my next point. Cut John Silva. He did the same thing
Paul Daly
did the same thing that Paul Daly did. And Dana said, Paul Daly, I don't care if he's the most famous fighter on the planet, he'll never fight here again. Now, that just shows you how much more the UFC had to lose at that time, legislatively, public perception-wise. They don't give a fuck now. They're like, whatever, like, we're already established, so shit's going to happen.
Yeah.
And their argument's probably, guys get out of their car and punch each other in NASCAR. This is a fight after the race is done. You know what I mean? This is a fight. So doesn't really fucking matter too much. But no, I mean, I think it is abhorrent behavior. The fighting nerds, I love them, and I still, like them, but it's just like, I don't know. I've always been sick of John Silva crying. I said on record, the first time he cried in the octagon, fine. When he came out and fought a second time and he cried again, too much. And he's crying looking at the posters. He's crying after. He's crying. This dude crying all the time. You know what I mean? Ain't nothing but a hound dog.
Yeah. I thought Dustin Stolfitz arguably could have won that fight. I didn't see how anybody could score it, 30-27 for Kelvin. And I think one of the scorecards read that, did it not?
I was thinking about if John Silva walks out first in his next fight to DMX, the next guy should walk out to, you ain't nothing but a hound dog, crying all the time.
Good one. That's a really good.
That's all I was thinking about this whole time.
Fair enough. But yeah, John Silva, classless, terrible. I mean, when you're taking that bad of a beating, sometimes you got to give him the benefit of the doubt. We've seen guys try to punch the ref before. We've seen guys try to take the ref down, so there has to be something to, like, Paul Daly had all the presence of mind in the world and chased after Josh Koscheck and punched him in the head. So maybe there is a little bit of a difference there, just like Rajah Jackson, he was hitting the head with a can. You can't. I think
I remember Paul Daly saying that Josh was saying racial slurs when he had him on the ground or something like that. And my first thought was, I thought Josh Koscheck was black.
Me too.
I was like, Josh Koscheck's white. I was like, Paul, are you sure? But
I don't think that he's not. Paul might think that
he's dyed. He dyes his hair blonde.
Yeah, definitely. He was doing that way before.
That might have confused Paul. Paul a bit. But I'm not gonna look it up. You know what I mean? But I don't know. I never really bought that. And when it comes to the podcast, the fights we watched this weekend, I did call Dan on Saturday before the fight started. I called Dan and we were chatting about all the normal stuff. And then at some point we started talking about the fights, and I was like, so are you're I can pretty much safely assume you're not going to do the podcast anymore. Because folks, what happened was that season 6, year 6 began in May. Dan did the first event. And before we started the episode, he was like, and if my bets don't win this week, I'm done. I'm quitting the show. And we kind of laughed. And we were like, yeah, okay. And he's like, I'm serious. And then the following week, we send the link to do the show. And he's like, I'm done. Now, Dan took Jack Della Maddalena during that breakdown. So he could have won that night. Like, the last fight of the night was an underdog that you picked on this show over Bilal Muhammad. And you didn't find a way to win money. So that was a little bit concerning. And that's why I said I think he went through a bit of a psychosis where he just simply couldn't make the right choices. And then he comes back. We give him, he says, I asked him, I said, so what's the deal? Are you done forever? He goes, I'm not done forever. I will definitely be back. I just need a bit of a summer sabbatical. I need to just take a break, clear this air, get away from gambling on UFC a little bit. And at this point, guys, there's a reason there's warning labels on cigarettes. There's a reason they tell you a million times that gambling's addictive. I respected it and said, look, I'm not going to, respect isn't the right word. I didn't respect it, but
he didn't say that. He was gambling on the UFC the whole time.
I didn't know that. So he said that he said he needed a break from the UFC and stuff. And I was like, okay. So then I said to myself, look, if he's really like getting in his own head about this, he might need a break. He's got a little bit of the yips. He's losing a lot of money. Maybe I should just, if you love something, let it go. Mm-hmm. And also just not, I don't have a problem with gambling. Maybe other people do. And I'm not trying to push some, it's like somebody says they want to quit drinking. I'm not going to be like, dude, come on, drink with me. Like, what, I'm going to be like, okay, hey, if you think so, that's cool. So then a few weeks go by. Don't really hear much from Dan. I call him. We're talking about other stuff. And he says, have you been bet? He asked me, have you been betting on the fights? Have you been winning? Have your bets been doing? I go, oh, you wouldn't want to know anything about that. You need a break. And he was like, well, I did a bet the other week. And I was like, wait, you're betting? Are you watching? Are you betting? He's like, yeah, I mean, I'm betting on. And he said he watched another handicapper's video. I'm like, so you needed a break from doing our show, but you're watching other handicappers' videos and still placing bets and trying to win. Now, my thought here was like, how stupid. Like, we have a Rubicon. We have a nexus point that you can come to that are me and Alex are two of the best minds talking about this sport, talking about betting on the sport, 1% of 1%. And he is doing this off on his own. And he had this idea that he was going to win all this money and come back to the show as if you guys, the audience, would be excited about that. I was like, Dan, they're going to be not happy about that. If you think you're going to come back, they're going to be like, oh, great job. They're like, no, they're going to be pissed off that you did it without them, that you didn't tell them.
They're going to think you slipped on a floor at a freaking Wawa. They're not going to think that you got all this money from gambling.
They're going to think your uncle died. So at this point, he says he wants to come back for the big card, the last big paper.
DDP versus Hamza.
DDP versus Hamza. He comes back, he does the show. Go back and watch that episode. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just me. I'm imagining it, but it felt like Dan was getting kind of bored and annoyed throughout the time. And that's when I think that's when I think Dan realized he wanted a divorce. I think he tried to make it work. We were legally separated. He came back into the house. He said, I'll spend one night. We'll have dinner. We'll like old times. And I think that's when he realized, no, I want a divorce. And he didn't say anything to us. We just sent the link the next week, and he never came. He never said a word. He never joined. He never said, we said, Dan, are you coming? He never showed up. And then, days go by. He never mentions it. I start to get a little worried because I knew he was at a bachelor party. I go, text his wife. I go, hey, is everything okay with Dan? And she's like, oh, yeah, everything's fine. He's just bad about getting back to people sometimes. I'm like, okay, no worries. Just wanted to make sure that, he didn't die or get hurt or something. And weeks go by, and, he's just kind of ignoring it. And I was like, okay. Finally, we catch up Saturday, and I just asked the question point blank, hey, are you going to do the show anymore? And he was like, I said, is it safe to assume you're never coming back to the show? He's like, yeah, that's probably best to assume. So where I'm at with it, guys, is more a state of shock, surprise, in the sense that it could never be me. Could never. And he even says on the phone, because I'm trying to empathize with him. I'm trying to say, like, yeah, I get it, man. It's a lot, sometimes. And he's like, listen, you don't need to feel obligated to do the show for the audience or for anybody. If you don't want to do the show, I'm like, I want to do the show. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. I'm like, the show's the only thing I want to do. I was just like, no, I'm like, nah, here, yeah. But in my head, I'm like, what the fuck is this guy talking about? Like, do you want to do the show? I want to do the show. I love watching the UFC. I love betting on the UFC, and I love talking about the UFC. And this is just my time capsule. This is my historic record of all that is going on right now with the sport, with my record of picks and gambling. This isn't about you guys even. I come here, this is a workshop. This is me getting to talk to my brother once a week about the upcoming fights and analyze them and get his thoughts. And that dedication, that persistence is what's making me better. If I just half-assed it, I wouldn't be nearly what I am today when it comes to being able to make magic happen with these bets. And to be honest, I'm shocked that Dan lost the love for the game. I'm shocked that he lost the love for the game. So Alex, the show is PPP. That's 3 letters. Perfect Play Pursuit. That's 3 words. Triple P certified means 3 boys pick the pick. And it just doesn't feel like, two things. One, it's the Perfect Parlay Pursuit. We pursued it. We achieved it. The other side of it is, for 5 years, we had a proprietary algorithm, which was those Triple P certified picks. Now, if you remember, I retroactively went back and figured out that if the pick itself, if the implied probability of the odds itself is better than the Triple P certified pick accuracy percentage, long-term, over 2 years, you would have been profitable blindly betting Triple P certified picks that fall within the implied probability that is better odds than our percentage, which was high 60s, 65, 66% consistently over 2 years. So without that kind of keystone, without that proprietary algorithm of the triple P certified pick, not that me and Alex aren't doing well with double P certified picks, but it just isn't the same. It's not the same show. So Alex and I are going to do some soul searching on the break week. We don't know what's next. We don't know what's next for the show, but we both acknowledge that we need a refresh. We need, for a little while, I thought maybe that's just bringing in a third co-host to replace Dan. I'm realizing now, easier said than done. Easier said than done. So big things are coming. Maybe not in year 6, but in the next year, big things are coming. And in the meantime, we're open to suggestions as far as the comments on this video. We're open to ideas. We're open to you just telling us how you feel about Dan's departure, about the future of the show. And Alex, do you have anything to say? This is news to you. I know you didn't know I talked to Dan this weekend, but he's not coming back.
Okay. Yeah, so you're right. As far as I can see it, the show as you know it is over. There will be no more perfect parlay pursuit in any capacity. We will not be pursuing perfect parlays, and we will not be triple P certifying anything going forward. And that's plain and simple. You know, we're a two-legged dog right now. We're a two-legged monkey. A monkey needs the third leg. What has 3 legs? Nothing has 3 legs, right?
A tricycle.
Okay. We're a 2-wheeled tricycle. There you go. And that just doesn't fly unless you're really good at wheelies.
Yeah. So Contender Series starts in 2 minutes. I'm going to be watching it a little bit alongside giving you guys our breakdown for UFC Ulberg versus Dominic Reyes. Tale as old as time. 15 fights on this card. We could have done with 11, I'll be honest with you. I mean, let's see. We got Jamie Malarkey. I thought he was dead. Who lied? I thought he was dead. Who lied? I thought he was dead. Who lied? I thought Jamie Malarkey retired.
You can kill a man, but you can't kill the idea of a man. And there will be Jamie Malarkey till the end of time. The first it was Davey Grant, then it was Davey Malarkey. They're all the same guy. There has never been a difference in them.
We got both Tafa brothers on this card. How they decided which one is third fight of the night and which one is co-main event. They gave the 6-4 one a co-main event. They gave the 7-5 one. He's got at least got 2 more fights experience, same winning percentage.
Now, Luke, you know what happens when the Tafa brothers have fights even close to being lined up. I feel like there's going to be some Tafa trickery here. Maybe Justin Tafa goes out to fight Oban. Wait, is it Oban? Not Oban Elliott. Oban, what's his name?
He is on this card, but Ebo Aslan.
Aslan.
Alex, this is how stupid they are. They put Ebo Aslan, Ivan Erslan, and Oban Elliott on the same card. Okay?
And 2 Tafas.
And Alicia Ellison. Oban Elliott, Alicia Ellison.
It's tough. It's
Ivan
a tough
Erslan
one.
and Ebo Aslan.
And yeah, they got a lot of stuff on this guy.
Like, I really think they're being cheeky. You know?
There has to be.
It's one of the worst fight cards that I'm really excited for. And I'll tell you why. Because you got this guy fighting Andre Petrosky, Cam Ralston. I saw him on the Contender Series. I'm excited about him. I believe I saw Jonathan Mikalev on the Contender Series as well. Let me check this. Yeah, I did. A lot of Contender Series guys. Navajo Sterling was a Contender Series guy. This is like a Contender Series card There's 15 fights. That'd be fine. This is in Perth, Australia. 15 fights would be fine if they were starting it at 1 p.m. It starts at 7. Main card 10, like it's a pay-per-view. Now I will say, I mean, there weren't any better fights on this card. There were no better fights on this card. They had Tom Nolan versus Evan Elder. Then he pulls out. They put him against Charlie Campbell. So EE, you switch it to CC. Like, why do you have to do this? It's a terrible card, but it's going to be great. It's going to be fucking great. I really know that it will be very exciting, fun, unpredictable. But I'll tell you what after winning so much this weekend, my hot streak must come to an end eventually. Luckily, we have a break week this week. So these picks, like, I haven't lost yet, put it that way. So this is hot streak picks with a cool-off period. So jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams. So we'll see.
Fair enough. You ready to get into it, or is there any more drama that you got to drop on me?
Give me your thoughts. Well, you did. Yeah, it feels like I feel good about moving forward without Dan. I feel good about it. You gotta, look, things have to evolve. Things have to change. They have to grow. We need to be better. We need to be better in terms of how we roll with this punch, how we, ride this tide. And it is what it is. And
yes, I've made mistakes. All I can do now is apologize and move on. I don't know what. Guys, okay. Can I just? It is what it is, and I can't change the past. And
I reached out to a lot of people. I'm embarrassed of how many people I reached out to try to bring in as a third chair, and I'm even more embarrassed about how many seen but not responded to messages I've gotten.
You got to go through them.
I asked Manpreet. I asked MMA Lock of the Night. I said, MMA Lock of the Night, I'm in a pickle. I was like, I have a job, and I think only you can do it. The only thing that would excite me more than Dan would be seeing our boy Manpreet right next to us.
Are you kidding? That'd be amazing.
No response. And he'll do that. And then he'll respond 3 months later and be like, bro, I'm sorry. I was so busy, with my life. I'm moving across the country. I'm like, you live in Canada. There is no across the country in Canada. There's just more Canada. Okay. You're moving to another part of Canada that's not across the country. You don't live in a country. You live in Canada.
Who else?
Oh, I'm moving across my room.
Who else? Joe
Selecki.
Of course.
And I even phrased it to him like, would you do one episode and then maybe like we do something with your gym where up and coming guys out of the gym, you throw them on and we do sort of like a picks contest where like a new member of the gym comes on each week and then their picks against everybody's picks and the winner gets a prize. No response. I hit a couple personal friends. I was like, hey, like I have an opportunity for you. And they were like, yeah, I'll do it. One guy said, I'll do it from work. I'll be at the office at the time, but I'll do it from no one will be here. I'll just do it from work. I'm like, you're not doing our podcast on company Wi-Fi and you're not doing our podcast from work. And if you think that's even an option, you don't get it. So let me fucking back away from this. I was like, I just said, not going to work. Like, and I don't know why. And honestly, like, I don't know why I even thought to ask you because of course that's what you thought.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, no, it is. And then I pitched Alex on some ideas and he turned them down. The only thing that would make me happy would be to get somebody from like the Bop House or somebody in the Bop House kind of universe who just knows nothing about UFC. You know what I mean? Like that would be the only thing that would make me actually happy. To look at somebody like that instead of Dan would be a small
think like FaZe Banks maybe. No, FaZe actually got in trouble today. I'm keeping FaZe's name out of my mouth. Sorry, forgot about that.
I don't know the difference between Banks, Rug, Clan. No, I mean ISHO Speed would be great, but
he seems super busy.
He seems busy. But then, he'll be in a Waffle House and taking pictures with the staff and giving them $1,000. So I'm like, hey, like, do that equivalent on, you know what I mean? Like, do the equivalent of helping those people out, but help out us minimum wage YouTubers, right? Like, everyone's willing to give the homeless guy $1 million on the side of the road, or like, a pack of beer and $1,000 cash. Like, Steve will do it. You know what would help us? Like, if you retweeted one episode of any of our, or like, not that I want that. I really don't want that, to be honest with you. But you want the same audience environment that Raja Jackson had talking to us. I don't necessarily need that in my life, but I'm just saying, like, it's funny that so many people they want to be seen helping people, but it's like, hey,
Money add then multiply. I call it mathematics.
Yeah. I mean, dream third chair for me would have to be like Raja Jackson would be one of them. I think that would really blow this podcast up.
Jake Paul.
Please don't ask me any dumb questions.
Dylan Dennis.
I honestly don't even know who those people are.
Something to really get the people going. But mostly, I think that Tommy NC. Tommy NC.
I don't know who that is, but Abigail. I asked her.
Abigail who?
Dynamic Instability.
Oh.
I didn't even ask her to be the third chair on the show. I just asked her to do an episode like a month and a half ago. No reply. So.
I had a deep conversation with Steven Seagal last time I was in Dubai.
Shab.
Any of size.
Shab is by far, I take everybody back. Shab is my number one, my North Star. I need him as the third chair. Make it happen. Or Anthony Smith, maybe. My biggest enemy. My best ally, Brendan Schaub. My biggest enemy, Anthony Smith. Which one? Either one of the two works.
Ian Gary
would be a great one. I think Layla Machado.
I'd rather have her 100%.
Yeah,
and
she would start the pot.
She would be perfect.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm scared to death of her. I would I swear I need to have some full circle moment with Miss Layla. I need to have some full circle moment where I just say, you blew that out of proportion, not me. Just to let you know.
That works super well when you do that with women.
That was crazy of you. I'm gonna just gaslight her. I'm gonna be like, do you know how inappropriate that was?
Yeah. Coming at my mother? What are you coming at my mother for?
Yeah, I never brought you into this. I never brought your kids into this. I just was talking to Ian Gary, public figure, and all I said was fight Brian Battle, and you lost your mind on my DMs. And it was one of the better days of my life, and I loved it, and it made me so happy. But I wish we could be friends. I love you.
It's so funny.
I think you're great for this sport, and I think you're awesome. And
How to Be a Wag was one of my favorite books of the year.
How to Get a Bag 101. Like, she's professor of, and she's also just like, how about this hot take? She's not a gold digger. Ian is. She's better and more rich and has more access to things. And like, how about this? He's using her. How about that?
She was hanging out with Paul Pogba before she was hanging out with him.
Established.
Yeah.
Certified.
Exactly. No.
She don't need no man.
Certainly not. Certainly not. And yeah, I would love her on the show. I think that there does need to be a kind of and yeah, that was kind of crazy how that all I always forget that the reason it happened was because you commented on Ian Gary's video of him searching for a stroller for his child before his child was even born.
And he said in the post, it was a reference to what he said. He said, well, all these guys are trying to call me out. I'm too busy shopping for a stroller for my soon-to-be born. And my comment was, he said, they joined the ranks of all the other deluded fighters who, whatever, think that I'm going to fight them. And I'm like, and you join the ranks of fighters who don't fight. I'm like, like you're not having, and I didn't say this part, but it's like, you're not having a kid. Your wife is. Get out there and fucking work, dude. There's guys, NASCAR drivers. I'm watching Netflix Full Speed, and Chase Briscoe is straight up, or Chase Elliott, maybe one of the Chases. He, Chase, these NASCAR names, Chase. But his wife's like, oh, I hope I don't go into labor on a Sunday when you have to race. Because then he's like, because then I won't be there. and it's like, I would be there. I would be like, yeah, I'm not racing today. There's a race next week.
Fuck that. No, you would not. No, you would not. You have an opportunity to make so much money that day that your wife is a moron if she wants you there in the first place. The only reason these fighters have the luxury to do this is because they work on their own schedule and they're lazy. Yeah. If Jalen Hurts, significant other, Luke, if Jalen Hurts' significant other was having a baby next week, not even on the Super Bowl, Jalen Hurts wouldn't be there with the baby. He would be playing in a football game and winning said football game because he is an Adonis.
But in today's day and age, the Travis Kelce, Jason Kelce age of football, you could probably reap far more rewards by being the guy who didn't play the game and chose to do that. You know what I mean? Like you're on Oprah's couch next week. You're on.
When you don't play the game to play the game, you are the game.
I don't know what that means. We do got 15 fights to break down.
Something I think Jalen Hurts might say. He says a lot of like coach talk,
I just want to, with that earring he's always got and his eye black, I just want him to be more pirate-like. Every time I see him, I think Pirates of the Caribbean. Pirates. He's got a hoop earring like a pirate. He wears the bandana like a pirate. He's got face paint like a pirate. I just think pirate. And I'm like,
you heard it here first. Jalen Hurts is going to the Buccaneers or Raiders eventually. Because Luke said it right here. You heard it here first. Okay. Jalen Hurts will end up being a pirate. He will either be Jack Sparrow, a Raider, or a Buccaneer.
Yeah. How about those birds, man? I mean, I loved that Travis Kelce. He's been so amped up with his own team, demanding like no mistakes and lock in and yelling at him. Let's go. He's been seen in 2 games now, like really getting in everybody's crawl. And for him to bounce that ball out of his stupid hands and have that guy intercept it, cost him the game, and it's on him.
Yeah, it was amazing to see. I loved every second of it. And I loved Chris Jones telling Jalen Hurts you didn't even get 100 yards this game. And Jalen Hurts told Chris Jones, he's a defensive tackle for the Chiefs. He told Jalen Hurts, you didn't even get 100 yards this game. He said, shut the fuck up, we won, dumbass, or something like that. Which, amazing. You would never hear Jalen Hurts be rude to somebody like that in an interview, but in between the lines, he's a dog. He's a Philly dog. He's the man, and he's my hero. I saw something today on Instagram. It said
you should have been like, take the average of the last 2 games.
Yeah, he still ran it down your gullet in a tush push formation, my man. Chris Jones, aren't you the guy that should be covering that? You're right there, buddy. He's coming right at you like a heat-seeking missile right for you, and you're not able to stop him.
And dude, they're already laying the groundwork to ban the tush push. Like they're already laying the groundwork. When they showed the replay of it, he goes, and I hate the tush push. It's a hard call. It's hard to officiate too. That's what people forget. It's hard to officiate. Shut the fuck up. They got cameras everywhere. Put cameras on the grass.
You know what's not hard to officiate? Pass interference. But Travis Hunter got called with the most bogus pass interference I've ever seen in my life to lose a game, to clinch the game in the other direction and make it so the other team was kicking a field goal for the win.
Dude, yeah, stupid.
Ridiculous.
The penalties in the NFL, we can talk all day about this shit, but it's and I think for the next show, fast pace, bets out the ass, more tracking, more data on screen, more like slates, cards. These are Luke's bets. These are Alex's bets. These are the year to date.
No next episode, and especially if I'm looking at fucking graphs all show, not happening. Not as long as I'm around. That's nerd shit. You got to be a little bit of a jock when you're picking picks. Like you can't be a nerd. You're Mike McStudy over here, thinking about all the triangulating of the trajectory of
studies. Speaking of that fucking dork, he's getting buried, and I love it.
I know.
I've been hating him for 3, 4, 5 years now, and it's like and it's just so hilarious that he's being viewed exactly as I viewed him 4 years ago. Exactly as I viewed him the first moment I looked at him. I said, dork, thinks he's cool, cares about his shoes, cares about his clothes too much, thinks he's made it. You ain't got a ring. Thinks he's, you know what I mean? And it's like, and you know what? He has made it because he could literally he probably has enough money to never coach another day and live a fucking upper middle class existence the rest of his life off it.
He has made it because he has no business being even remotely close to a football field without sitting in the seats that I'm sitting in with a beer and popcorn. There's no way that pencil neck dork deserves to be on a field, especially if you're out here hanging out with Dan Soder's weird ass. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, that's some Illuminati shit. Whenever I see two famous people that are childhood friends, I go, so your dads are in the CIA or something? Like, I know Dan Soder's dad wasn't in the CIA, but I just mean, like, you just go,
maybe he wasn't there.
I love what's his name's take on Shane Gillis about, like, his dad went to, or his uncle went to Notre Dame, and Notre Dame is the biggest recruiting school for the CIA, just or whatever, like all these different little things. But no, I don't really care. I just think that it's
Dad went to high school with a former CIA director or some shit like that.
Some shit like that, right? Like there's some shit like that in kind of always, and then it starts to make sense. Like the more you see these
McGillis truck hit Joe Biden's wife in a car,
like and
McGillis farm truck.
All these people who, not like Gillis or Soder or McStudy, but like the people who never seem to not be famous and are just like won't go away kind of thing. You're like, what is going on here? You know, I don't know. It's really crazy. But guys, it's a somber episode. It shouldn't be. We're doing great. I have enough winnings to cover all Alex's losses and still be positive for the year. Put it that way.
Perfect third chair, Michael Ray Bauer.
Now we could get him for like $50 a week. We could get him. And that's who I really just want, somebody who takes it as a job and says, these guys asked me to look over these fights and just make a selection. That's all they've asked of me. I have to come on the show and I have to try my best between two heads or tails. And I have to pick heads or tails 12 to 15 times. And that's it. And I just want to see if we can almost groom somebody and have somebody start to learn and be like, get better. You know what I mean? So I'm interested in that. I'm interested in, and that's why I said about the Bob House stuff, I'm interested in getting a blank slate, but incentivizing them to take it somewhat seriously, being like, look, like you're here to do a job. We're paying you. All I ask is that you pull Tapology up and know who we're talking about when we're talking about it. Not know them, but know like that guy's name and that guy's name, and tell me who you think's going to win. It could be based on the picture. It could be based on what we say, but I just need to know what you think. And over time, as we give picks that turn out to be wrong, then they'll hear it. and they won't be too close to the forest to see the trees, and they'll be like, this feels like the fight that you guys were really confident on the 2 weeks ago, and I'm gonna go against you guys, and then we'll be like, oh, interesting.
The pupil has become the master.
And it'll basically be able to break a triple. We need somebody who can break a triple P certified pick. You know what I mean? Like somebody who can be like, no, I'm not jumping up. Like that was the key that Dan provided, the ability to break a consensus, or to have him be wrong. You know what I mean? Like we're right, but he's wrong. But okay,
the odds are a lot higher that somebody disagrees when there's 3 people.
Yeah.
And 2 people always agree. So it's like you're both ganging up on somebody. It's a fun dynamic.
Yeah. So, all right, let's go through the card. Ulberg versus Reyes, starting out at the first fight of the night. Jonathan Mikalev versus Oban Elliott. Now, Oban Elliott coming off a very disappointing performance. 27-year-old Oban Elliott lost to Song Kyo 2 months, 3 weeks ago. Looking really good before that. Finished Basil Fez, beat Preston Parsons in an area that we thought Preston would succeed with the wrestling and the cage control. He beat Val Woodburn by decision. Oban Elliott, he loves Chael Sonnen. He wants to be a fucking star. I think he's got a lot of positive attributes here. I think this fight, too much. I almost want to say it's too much too soon for Jonathan Mikalev. I mean, this is a guy who lost on the regional scene a year and a half ago. He's 26. He's only got 1 UFC win. It's against Kevin Jussier. Kevin Jussier is not the guy Sam Patterson, right? Like you might mix him up. He's not Sam Patterson. Sam Patterson, jiu-jitsu guy, knocking people out, knocked out Eddie Barlow. This is not him, but he decisioned him. Close fight. I kind of thought Jussier won that fight. I'm going with Oban Elliott here, fairly emphatically. I think he's going to be able to take Mikalev down at will. And it's just going to be about, does he choose to win or put on a banger? Now, Dana White to Forbes magazine said, you always put the most exciting fight, the fight you think is going to be the most exciting, the first fight of the night to set the tone. So he thinks this fight's going to be a fucking war. And now, granted, this is 2 weeks away. The card will be restructured by then. It probably won't be the first fight of the night. So let me just take that back right away. But just remember, that's the general consent. Like when you see 2 women fighting on the first fight of the night, just think in your head, they know something we don't, and there's a reason for this. And it's not because everyone's still funneling into the arena. It's because they want people to get in the arena faster, and they want somebody to get knocked out so that all the arena screens that are playing it show it, and then the people in the arena go, oh, and the people outside the arena go, oh shit, we got to get in there. So I'm going with Oban Elliott. Who do you got?
Yeah, likewise, I'm going with Oban Elliott as well. I do get scared when you see that he took Val Woodburn to a decision. Val Woodburn made Bo Nickel look like Canelo. Scratch that. He made Bo Nickel look like Bud Crawford. We all know Bilal Muhammad has Canelo hands. Give me Oban Elliott. I think that he is a well-rounded, very dynamic fighter. If I remember the Jonathan Mikalev fight, I think Jonathan Mikalev was actually kind of taking Kevin Jussier down. And Kevin Jussier is a really good kickboxer himself, and was losing a lot of the exchanges to Mikalev's power. I'm going to go with Oban Elliott here. I think he gets it done. I love Oban Elliott. Was really shocked that he lost the last one, though. So who knows how it's going to impact his performance. And especially, I guess Wales isn't as far from Australia as America, but still a pretty long flight, I would think.
All right. Next.
I got to refill my water. I'll be right back.
Contender series is on right now. We got Kovanchek versus Ochegbu. Right now, it looks like Kovanchek is on top at the end of round 2 after losing round 1. That was kind of my thought. We got Andre Petrosky versus Cam Ralston. Andre Petrosky versus Cam Ralston. I'm taking Cam Ralston. I think he's way more dangerous on the feet, and I don't think Torres Finney was able to take him down and put on a really boring fight with Cameron Austin. But I don't know that we've seen Andre Petroski able to win with the wrestling only. And if he's on the feet with this guy for any extended period of time, he's going to lose. So give me Cameron Austin to beat Andre Petroski. Oh. Alex Petroski versus Ralston. What do you think?
Yeah, tough fight to pick. Lines aren't out yet. So I don't even know how the public is seeing this one. Do you have lines actually?
I don't think so.
All right.
I don't care about the line.
I care about what's going to happen. Yeah, I think that city kickboxing guys who you've never heard of, who come in, impressive fashion off the Contender Series.
I can barely hear you.
Don't really show a lot of their game there in their first fight in the UFC. Or in their Contender Series bout where they knock the guy out, starch the guy real quick, and you don't really see much of their game. I'm gonna go with Andre Petroski. I hate Andre Petroski. I don't think that this is a good pick. I would not bet it myself. Haven't seen too much on Cameron Austin, but I just think that these CK or I want to say CFFC, but that's not what it is. City Kickboxing boys. CKB boys, they oftentimes lay duds in their debut, and especially when you haven't heard of them, and they have a couple losses on the regional scene. Give me Andre Petroski taking this fight to the ground, showing this guy what MMA is.
All right, Louis Sutherland versus Justin Tafa. Louis Sutherland, the Vanilla Gorilla. He's got traps for days. This guy, I don't know about this guy. 6'3", 76-inch reach, taking on 6 foot, 74-inch reach, Justin Tafa. Justin Tafa back-to-back losses, finished with elbows and knees by Taliesin Teixeira 7 months ago. This guy making his debut and coming off a knockout win 2 months ago. These guys are going to bang, bro. These guys are going to bang. They're both 31. I'm going with Louis Sutherland.
Luke, this isn't the Tafa that lost to...
No,
I thought Justin Tafa was the one who got heel hooked.
Nope, Junior.
Oh, but I think Justin Tafa was originally supposed to fight in that fight. I think that's where...
They do switcheroos, Matt Hughes, Mark Hughes. Like, they do all these Hughesian switch-ups. So I'm going easily with the fucking guy who has traps that are up to his fucking top of his ears and has never been tested in the UFC testing pool and is making his debut in Australia. I'm going with him.
Yeah. But Luke.
Now, listen, let me caveat it with this. Guys like Justin Tafa, that's like textbook YouTube video early 2000s where it's like, hey,
fat guy
bodybuilder. Fat guy knocks out bodybuilder, like, because he's a fat guy who can actually box and he's like able to. Of course, fat guy knocks out bodybuilder, but I don't know if that's going to be the case here. So,
Luke, what I think is going to happen,
you'd be like,
what I think is going to happen is going to be that we get another Tafa switcheroo.
Okay.
I think that in this
they're both on this card though, so are they going to?
They're both on this card, so they're both going to switch. Justin Tafa is going to walk out and fight at light heavyweight, and that will be an advantage for him. Junior Tafa,
though. Like, they don't look that much alike. They have different tattoos. Someone will notice. We might not notice, but someone will notice.
And they'll live on through the annals of time forever, and that will be the only way that they will be able to live in the zeitgeist, in the history of the UFC, where Joe Rogan's talking to fucking Charlemagne the God, and he's like, "You ever see the time that those Tafa brothers switched opponents in the night? They literally both had to fight the same night, and they fought the opposite guys, and no one really noticed until the third round."
He's watching the video with like Pat Bet David, and he's like, look. Geez, there's always this moment where Joe's looking only at the screen because he's really trying to get the guest to talk about what he wants to talk about, and the guest is kind of like trying to change the subject. You know what I mean? They're like looking at him, but so I can just see it now, like him looking at the screen, like, look at that, look, that's not even him. That's his brother. Is it? And the guy, and he will force feed you the clip until you appreciate it as much as he does.
And that's the thing about universal basic income, Joe. It will never work.
It goes back to what I was saying. We both have perfect Pat Bet Davids. Like, never did it before. Threw it out there. Worked perfectly. I mean, that's crazy.
Yeah. Give me. Unless the Tafa brother, listen, and I think that there's trickery afoot. This is in Australia. Sure, people are going to notice, but not us idiotic Americans, not us idiotic Brits. We're not going to, anybody who isn't Aussie isn't going to realize it. And all the Aussies are in on it. It's a classic. It's a classic getting Randy Brown to pet a koala the day before his fight and get him to hold a syphilis covered koala right before he's about to fight. I think you got to go with Louis Smotherland here. But yeah, I mean, like Luke said, this could easily be a fat guy knocks out bodybuilder situation. I could see it in my mind's eye so easily. It's like it's on Sherdog, right on the front page, right there. And what was the other one? MMA, the forum. No, the
MMA
forum.
linker.
Okay, I thought there was one with the
underground forum. Yeah, but I was an MMA linker guy. I wonder if MMA linker is still a website. Let's see.
Yeah, you're about to be in jail with the Stream East boys. Okay,
man, they ruined it though. It was black and red. It was black and red. It was like you were going in to the, you know what I mean? You're going in. Like now it's like looks like fucking Yahoo News. It's terrible.
Yeah, give me the Vanilla Gorilla, but
I miss that the internet used to be a place you went to, not a place that tried to be like everywhere else. You know what I mean? Like I would go to MMA Linker. Now it's like they're like, hey, we're gonna make everything super convenient and embedded in. Saying, no. I don't want it to come with me. I want to go to it.
I want to go to Homestar Runner for a good time. I want to go to Newgrounds for a good time. That's the
problem with society right now is that everything is trying to be made too convenient, where it's like taking away the experience. Life is an experience, and it's like instead of going to Pizza Hut and you see the salad bar and you see the little coin operated machine and the Pac-Man machine and the pitchers that said Pizza Hut on them, and they give you a big pitcher of soda, or sometimes even in the past a pitcher of beer, and you smell the pizza cooking when you walk in, and there's a waitress or a waiter, they come up to your table, you anticipate it, you wait for it, the seats are comfy, it just felt like Pizza Hut. Now we don't have that. They robbed that of us. Pepsi robbed that of us. And at the end of the day, they think they made it better. They're like, oh, it's Pizza Hut Express and it's on the app, and you just go to the app and then boom, one click, Domino's at your door, one click. Like they thought it was about fast. They missed the whole point. It's just about it's not about it's not that we need the pizza so quick. It's that it can't be cold. We got a party of people waiting. We can't have a cold pizza delivered hours later.
They're not bringing the hot.
They heard, people are upset about delivery times, and it's like that's not the way to solve it.
And they're not bringing the hot pan with the pizza in it to your table anymore. It's all gone to shit. It's all gone to shit. It's
there's no more ground round. There's no more.
It's like that song "Flowers and Daisies" from Clerks.
I thought, yeah. Talking Heads.
Yep. Yeah. That's the one.
This was a Pizza Hut. Now it's all covered in daisies. You know?
Yeah.
But instead of daisies, this was a Pizza Hut. Now it's an Amazon warehouse.
Yeah. Exactly. because they thought that the flowers and daisies were better than the Pizza Hut. That's just objectively wrong.
No, they
But
thought they thought the pizza. That song is about
flowers and daisies getting taken over by
being bad. He said, "Don't leave me stranded here. I can't get used to this lifestyle," which is the lifestyle of no civilization. Is what he's saying. He's saying like, this was a Pizza Hut. It was a Pizza Hut. Now it's all covered in flowers.
Okay, maybe I got a different message from the song.
I don't know.
I haven't seen Clerks in a
art
very
is for
long
the
time.
interpretation. I could be wrong. Maybe he was doing it tongue in cheek, ironically, sarcastically. You know what I mean? To point out the absurdity of that concept. But the way I kind of take it is like, what would you have us all do? Just fucking be in fucking what's that movie? Midsommar? Put fucking flowers in hair and do child sacrifices? Like, we gotta have Pizza Hut. We gotta have.
I had no idea what you said at first, and then once you said that, I was like, okay, makes sense.
But it's like we don't need nothing, but we also don't need nothing. See what I'm saying? There's a middle ground, and you have people on two sides of the spectrum where it's like we should live like a vagabond, fucking hunter gatherer lifestyle, and we should put our bare feet on the grass and ground. And then you have people like, I want to press one button and have everything come to my house. And it's like, I see both sides, B. I see both sides, B.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, oh, that's your takeaway?
But we don't need to be
to the choir over here.
But there's a middle ground, and we had it in the 90s, in the early 2000s, which was, yeah, you have modern conveniences, but you can still go out and have an experience in public.
Bingo.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, and when you look into it,
I
had to go on a desktop to play RuneScape, and I couldn't just have RuneScape on my phone at that time. You know,
you went to a corner of your house. That's where the internet was, where it should be, in the corner of the house, in the basement, in the corner. When I buy a house, I promise you, I'm going to install what we will coin the internet shed. And it's going to not be a shed, but it's going to be like, you know, what you would see like a man cave kind of style setup, but it'll be a house off property. It's where you have all the delights, all of Saturn's delights. You have the old school arcade machines. You have the giant screen TV. You have the PlayStation 6. You have the Grand Theft Auto 6. You have a pool table. You have the Netflix, the Apple TV, all that stuff. But in the house, limited in the house.
Beautiful. It's a beautiful idea.
And listen, I'll say this now. It's probably way less convenient than I'm conceptualizing, but no Wi-Fi in the house. The Wi-Fi is in the internet shed. You want to use the fucking computer, you go over there.
Fair enough.
Go over there. Here, we're chilling. We're creating a Zen environment. Wabi sabi.
All right. Well, next up, we got Brando Parachik versus Alicia Ellison.
One of two alliteration names on the card that I'm unhappy about. You shouldn't put two on the same card, but that's fine.
Yeah, who do you got in this one? Alicia or Brando?
He calls himself Snack Panther. That's a new thing. I just saw that. It was a fat guy in a Black Panther costume that said more like Snack Panther.
Funny.
The Balkan Bear.
Now, I think you're thinking of the Rizzler.
I'm going to go with the younger guy here. I don't know too much about either of them, both making their debut. Interesting how you can have two debutantes enter the cage on these hyper-specific geographical cards when they don't have to go through the Contender Series, Ultimate Fighter, or anything else. But hey, he's 5-1. He's 4-1. I remember my cousin once told me I could never get into the UFC with a record like that. So he said, I said, you don't have, he was like, yeah, I'm like, Bellator will let you fight at 0-0. Dylan Dennis fought 0-0 at Bellator. I was like, you get 4 fights in Bellator, you go to the UFC 4-1, 4-0. He's like, that'll never happen. It's happening. These guys have never fought in Bellator. It's a 15. They don't even need this fight. It's a 15-fight card.
There's too many fights on this card. Too many fights for it to be starting at 7 p.m.
So I'm going with Snack Panther. Easy decision for me.
or Eastern. Yeah, certainly. Snack Panther all the way. Cooler name, more fights, younger. Big guy, looks strong, looks like he's ready to. Yeah, give me the Snack Panther, Alicia Ellison.
All right, next, the return of Jamie Malarkey versus Rolando Bedoya.
I thought Ronaldo Bedoya was the guy who fought last weekend.
No, that's Adolfo Pilato.
No, Medina.
Jose Medina.
Yeah, that
Both
one.
Peruvian.
Both Peruvian, both in there, and get the shit kicked out of them the entire fight. The one thing you got to worry about in this fight, Jamie Malarkey, he bleeds a lot. He gets cut, he bleeds, he loses fights. Wait, I'm not thinking of Jamie Malarkey.
No, I mean he does.
I'm thinking of Davey Grant, I think.
But they both do. They both got paper thin skin.
Paper thin skin. Not
And
a very
hard, but also mix that with hard bones.
Hard bones, but Jameis Malarkey's been knocked out almost every fight he's lost in the UFC. Ronaldo Bedoya can crack, but I just think that everything he throws is super slow, super telegraphed, all power punches. Sure, one might get through, but I think Jamie Malarkey's the better fighter, and he's going to walk away with the victory.
I think Jamie Malarkey at one point had a higher promise. And my one thing is with the UFC, I kind of think they're like, let's cut Bedoya after this loss and have a Jamie Malarkey came back after a year and a half of being retired, and now this is his resurgence, right? He retired very young. So I kind of think some people know more than me and are setting Jamie Malarkey up for a very winnable fight. But with like you, I don't like the year and 4-month layoff. Only thing is, if Bedoya was active, I'd pick Bedoya. But since he's just as inactive almost, I'm going with Malarkey.
All right. Double P certified Malarkey for the one of the very last double P certified picks you'll ever see. And who would have thunk that night DDP versus Hamzat Chimaev, you would have seen your last triple P certified pick that evening. I wonder who that was. Probably DDP.
It was the last triple P certified pick ever given was. I guess it depends on how you look at. Yeah, Carlos Prates over Jeff Neal.
I think I picked Jeff Neal.
Mm-mm.
No, I picked Jared Cannonier. I said one was going to win, one was going to lose. They both lost. All right, well, next up, we got Luana Carolina versus Michelle Montag. I thought this was Kylie Minogue, Australian singer, famous Australian singer Kylie Minogue.
I'm going to bet on inconsistency from Carolina. So I'm going to take the newcomer. It doesn't make much sense, but I just think that Carolina isn't 4-fight win streak material, and we'll lose this one.
Yeah, give me Luana Carolina. Like Luke said, his pick doesn't make sense. Well, it might, because Minogue is coming down from 145 to 135 to fight in the UFC because they don't have women's featherweight anymore. Her last weigh-in was at 145. So she might be coming in there pretty big, pretty strong, or really, really weak from a weight cut. She is only 2 inches taller, but you got to think a lady who's fighting at 145 has to be like a more imposing figure. I like Luana Carolina. Yeah, Ariane Lipitsky knee barred her. Yes, Molly McCann knocked her out. Joanne Calderwood beat her in a split decision. I thought Luana Carolina won that one. But ever since then, been on a tear, 3-fight winning streak. You know, she is sneakily 6-3 in the UFC. Not as inconsistent as you would think. I know those losses are bad. Molly McCann and Ariane Lipitsky. If you remember that Molly McCann fight, I think she was whooping Molly McCann's ass, and Molly McCann came back with a spinning back elbow in the third round to win the fight after being down. Shout out to Molly McCann. She even gets freaking kicked while she's in a boxing match. That's pretty funny. Luana Carolina all the way. Luana Carolina emphatically. The one thing I will say about this fight is not emphatically, because you need to wait and see the weigh-ins. You need to wait and see what these two ladies look like standing next to Joe Rogan. They both are taller than him. So Joe Rogan won't be there. But how they look next to John Anik, who they will also still be taller than. And base their size on how much bigger they are than John Anik against each other. Say one's 10%, say one's 40%. If there's a 30% difference, you know, I say probably switch that pick. But I'm going to go with Luana Carolina based on skill, not size. Definitely facing a higher caliber of opponent. And in all honesty, she should be 8-1 in the UFC, because I thought she won that split decision against Joanne Calderwood. And I also thought that she was whooping the shit out of Molly McCann and just got caught really late in the fight. So give me Luana Carolina emphatically. Next up, we got Josias Musasa. That's a fun one. That's a really fun one. Jillian, Colby Thickness versus Colby Thickness. Oh, that girl's so thick. She must be thick in knees. Yeah. I mean, I got down with the Thickness in his last bout. Was a little disappointed against Topuria. No, I did not get down with the Thickness against Topuria. Are you kidding me? I might have gotten down with the Thickness, but it's like, what's worse, losing to Carlos Vieira round 1 or going 3 rounds with the champ's older brother? I got to think, getting subbed by Carlos Vieira round 1. Yes, the KO wizard is a knockout artist, but Carlos Vieira kind of,
He head kicked him.
Yeah.
Vieira head kicked him and then choked him out.
Vieira dropped him and then choked him out. So you just got to look at the level of competition this fella's been facing. Sure, you know, if he's going to win, bet on a first round knockout. But I think Colby Thickness will be able to win this one.
I'm also going with Colby Thickness. I don't think he's going to fall for any of the Wizards' tricks. And I was not impressed to see him get rocked on the feet by a jiu-jitsu guy. And then, so I'll take
All
Colby.
right. Next up, we got Navajo Sterling versus Rodolfo Viato, the Trader versus the Navajo. I'm gonna go. That should be his nickname, the Navajo Sterling. That because Navajo Sterling is already a pretty cool name as it is. Navajo Sterling. It's a good name there. I'm going to go with Navajo Sterling. I think Rodolfo Bellato sucks. I think that he throws punches like a T-Rex. His reach is short. He's not good at fighting. And I think Navajo Sterling cruises around on the outside, keeps him at distance, and maybe even puts an end to one of these fights against Rodolfo Bellato. I think his first UFC finish has been eluding him. Yeah, it has. And I think Rodolfo Bellato is the perfect opponent for him to get his first knockout win.
I don't know. My thing is Navajo Sterling 7-0. 2 performances that leave like Tuco's decision, Ivan Arslan decision. I don't know if he's going to be able to get past a guy with double the fights, who's faced the likes of Jimmy Crute, Paul Craig. You know, I'm taking Rodolfo Bellato here.
Ugh. Hold your nose. Because
I was one of the few people who didn't think he was like faking it when he got up kicked.
That's
and he like acted scared and like.
Oh
and
yeah,
also,
he wasn't faking, but that's bad that he's coming back so quick after getting knocked out so bad that he got scared of Jason Herzog. Who the hell would ever be scared of Jason Herzog?
That was.
I mean,
really
if you wake up and see Chris Taoni, you might think you're in a nightmare. But if you wake up and see Jason Herzog, you know,
yeah,
you don't even need to grab the baseball bat from under the bed. You just get up and grab him by his little pea head. Next up, Luke, we got another alliteration. Luma Lukabomi versus Alexia Tayanara. I'm going to say Tayanara, suckers, and I got to go with Luma Lukabomi. I think that she is vastly underrated. I think she's a great fighter. I think we've seen a lot of evolutions in her game. She's taken a few ladies down in the cage recently when she's primarily known as a Thai boxer. Sure, earlier in her career, Angela Hill and Lupi Godinez. But Lupi's kind of had a resurgence since she's let us down in the past. And Angela Hill is a tough customer coming into your second UFC fight, and actually only your fifth UFC fight in totality. So give me Luke Bone me. Fifth MMA fight, pardon me, in totality. Give me Luke Bone me. I think she's shown a lot. Has been added to her game. She submitted Elise Reed. She's been taking these broads down. She beat up Bruna Brazil. People forget, man, that was the first fighting nerd to lose. They just don't even count her with the rest of the team. People forget. Give me Luma Luke me emphatically. I think this is dominant.
I'm going the opposite way. I think that her ground game leaves something to be desired. She's really small, maybe a natural straw weight or that atom weight, 5'1". She's going to have 6 inches of reach against her with Dianara. Going to take away, I think, a lot of her ability to mix in that, beautiful Thailand striking she has. But I think that,
Look, this chick got freaking guillotined by Bruna Brazil.
Celia Nunes was her last fight. Celia Nunes is like 4'11", dude. I think
so is Molly McCann.
Well, I think Dianara can punish her, scoot her around, bully her. Give me Dianara, but don't bet it and don't watch it.
No, that's actually going to be a good fight. For a ladies fight for sure. I think that will be a great ladies fight to watch. We got Tom Nolan versus Charlie the Cannibal Campbell. I like Tom Nolan. I think he's got more aura. I think Charlie Campbell's a bit of a geek. I think that he's not smart. He's training with those Long Island dudes. He got knocked out by Chris Duncan. That loss aged well. Chris Duncan's been an absolute beast as of late. He's been whooping everybody in sight apart from Manuel Torres. That's his only loss in the UFC. And dude, can you believe Chris Duncan lost to Vladislav Borislav on the Contender Series before he was in the UFC? That's insane. But yeah, man, I think that Charlie Campbell, he's not that good.
Before you pick, he's bigger, stronger, not bigger, not taller, but Nolan's a little bit more wiry. But this guy's like big Long Island, Longo MMA boy, Chris Weidman, Ray Longo, hard nose. He's gonna come in there. He's gonna put Nolan on his fucking ass. He's gonna throw big meaty hooks at him and get him against the cage. And I just think that Nolan has not looked that impressive, and his aura has faded because he was a huge favorite in his fight and he won it by decision. I never like that. It's like you're that much of a favorite, get the guy out of there. I'm sick of these learning experience guys. It's gonna be a hard-nosed fight. It's the first fight of the main card. So
he butchered Vladislav Borishev in that fight, though. Like he did it all but take him out. If I remember correctly, I believe Vladislav Borishev's face was like hanging off of his skull. I mean, he was all cut up, bloodied up, if I remember correctly.
I don't remember that, but
getting knocked out to Nicholas Mata is not something I love. No
but
offense.
He did finish Bogdan Grad, who is like, hard to finish. Yeah, I'm going with Charlie Campbell. I mean, just
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Tom Nolan here. I think that Charlie Campbell's just Luke said a lot of great things. Long Island, hearty. I think Long Island, I think dumbass. I think not a very smart guy. I've seen how this guy fights. He doesn't have the most IQ in there. He seems like a Gian Vellante more than a Chris Weidman or a Frankie Edgar or one of those guys. He seems more like a Gian Vellante. And who was the other fat guy that trained there? Anywho, give me Tom Nolan. Then
Neil Magny versus Jake Matthews. Auto pick, easy pick. I'm taking Jake Matthews. I mean, he's looked so good. He's been so active. He fought a month ago. He looked great. Meanwhile, so did Neil Magny. Finished Elijah Zaleski 4 weeks ago.
Hell yeah, dude. It was beautiful.
Where the fuck was I? Tiara versus Park.
I think he might have even been losing too, or I'm getting him confused with the Mike Malott fight, but I remember him finishing that guy recently.
I'm trying to remember any of these fights. Oh yeah, okay.
I feel like this fight has happened. I feel like these two have fought each other, and it was like a Neil Magny fraud check, but I don't see it. Maybe I'm mistaken. But you're right. I think that this is a Jake Matthews fight to win. This isn't – I know Zaleski or whatever the hell that guy's name isn't, too wet behind the ears. But you look at a guy like Mike Malott and some of the other guys Neil Magny has fraud checked earlier in his career. He's kind of been the gatekeeper for this division to get you into the top 20, to get you into the top 15 for at least the last 10 years or so. I'm going with Jake Matthews, though. Allah. Assalamu alaikum, my brother. I love you, Jake Matthews. You've been doing an amazing job. I'm proud of you. The Celtic kid is going to go out there and do some damage to Neil Magny, because Jake Matthews can get it done anywhere. He's had some bumps in the road in his UFC career, but people forget, man. He's been in the UFC since he was like 19 years old after winning the Ultimate Fighter, had an amazing run through there. And hold on. Let's see his record in the UFC. 15-7 in the UFC. That's impressive to even be around that long to get a record like that. He's always been teetering. Him and Neil Magny are kind of have had similar trajectories in their career. Jake Matthews is a guy who's a kingmaker. A Michael Morales beats you. Sure, Matt Semmelsberger isn't the best one, but Sean Brady's a good loss. Anthony Rocco Martin had a lot of hype around him. That was right before he went to the PFL, and I think won it all. Kevin Lee. James Vick, that was right before James Vick was knocking on the door of fighting James Vick got brutally knocked out by two guys, one Justin Gaethje and another one, he was calling Justin Gaethje Homer Simpson. I think that one happened in Philly, that fight. And then he had another really brutal knockout in the UFC. Andre Vial, Nico Price, Dan Hooker, Paul Felder, Justin Gaethje. Take your pick. I mean, he had 5 straight brutal knockouts in the first and second round. That's crazy. Oh, except Paul Felder. God forbid Paul Felder, Mr. Love to Strike. All this wrestling stuff is boring. Takes James Vick, the guy everybody was knocking out at that time. Yeah, give me my boy Jake Matthews.
Yep, double piece by Jake Matthews. Jack Jenkins, Ramon Tavares. I personally just don't think Ramon Tavares is going to take it to the ground to get the win. I think he'll be forced to stand with Jack Jenkins. I think Jack will kick him in the legs, punch him, elbow him, do a lot of shit, fighting on home soil. I think he's going to have the advantage. Give me Jack Jenkins at home to get the win here. And this fight is going to be at 145, which Ramon Tavares is moving up from 135. I just don't like that he did that whole battle with Reyes. Reyes is not even really proven himself to be that good, and he was only able to redeem himself off of that split decision. Sorry, Reyes is pretty good, but he hasn't like proven himself necessarily either. And then he loses a split decision to Davy Grant. Davy Grant is 40 years of age. So give me Jack Jenkins. It's going to be a much harder fight than Davy Grant. If you can't get past Davy Grant, I don't think you can get past Jack Jenkins. I think Jack Jenkins probably beats Davy Grant.
Yeah, I don't know about all that. And I'm surprised that Jack Jenkins at 145. He seems like his build, he should probably be at 135. I just feel like he's undersized for this division. But I guess you can't really say that with Volk as champ, because he's probably just about the same size as Volk, maybe even a little taller. Give me Jack Jenkins. I think Jack Jenkins runs away with this one. I've been high on Jack Jenkins. He's had a few bad performances in recent memory, but I think that he can pull it back together and go on his way to where he was going before. Because before he had Chepe Mariscal break his arm, he was one of the biggest up and coming guys in this division, beating up like Jamal Emmers and stuff like that. So give me Jack Jenkins. And then next up, we got Jimmy Crute versus Avon Arslan. I like Jimmy Crute. I've liked Jimmy Crute for a long time. Jimmy Crute is still young. He's had hiccups in the past, just like Jack Jenkins. He's had those hiccups in the past. We've seen it. I think it's behind him. The Bellato majority draw, bullshit. I thought he won the first Alonzo Minifield fight. Got finished in the second one. Give me Jimmy the Brute Crute.
Dude, my fucking broke bitch friend, he's like got Ian's friend, Ralph, his friend is fighting on Contender Series tonight. So friend of a friend's friend is, or my friend, but friend of a friend is fighting on and he's like, dude, how do I watch it? I'm like, you get ESPN Plus. He's like, I don't have ESPN Plus. How do I watch it if I don't have it? I'm like, you sign up for the free trial or you pay the $8.99 or I'm like, dude, it's $10. It's like a fucking breakfast sandwich. Like just fucking get ESPN Plus and then watch the fight and then you don't need to feel cheated. You don't need to feel cheated. You can feel like you supported your friend. He's like, FaceTime me with it on your TV. I'm like, dude, no. I was like, actually, I said, yeah, I'll do that. Hold on. Let me call you back. And I hung up.
Yeah, I'll say this. I'm not going to have ESPN Plus after December 31st.
I'm such a dumb fuck because I knew I had to cancel by a certain day or they were going to renew my yearly subscription. I tried to cancel. It was very inconvenient and couldn't figure it out. And then I forgot. And then they fucking hit me for the year. So I got it for the year. And I already have Disney Plus with the Hulu ESPN thing. So I'm triple paying for everything. I'm an idiot. Fuck me. My skin crawls just thinking about it.
Oh, dude, you need Rocket Money. You don't have the Rocket Money app?
Yeah, that doesn't work. I don't think it fucking works.
They'll show you all your subscriptions.
They're like, just let us log into all your bank accounts and credit cards. I'm like, no. How about that? How about fucking stay away from my shit? All right. All right, let's move on. Jimmy Crute, Ivan Arslan. I'm going Crute. Dominant ground finish. Don't know if he'll get a submission or ground and pound, but he will win on the ground.
How do you cancel this subscription? Now that you've mentioned it, like it's fresh on the brain, I'm going to have to get it done.
And it's difficult, right? Like
it's not the easiest.
It was like you have to do it on the account. It said something like you have to do it how you signed up. Like,
yeah, I don't know. I signed up.
I was trying to do it on my phone. It was like go to it on your computer. I went to it on my computer. They're like, what? I'm like, cancel. They're like,
no, go back to the phone. Go back. I don't know why
I'm gonna fucking email somebody and be like, I tried to fucking cancel this. Refund me.
Of course, it didn't work when I tried it with DAZN. Those guys are scumbags. They are the worst.
I'd be like, prorate me for the month and then don't charge me for the year. How about that? I'll prorate me until the end of the year. I'll still need it till the end of the year, but yeah, I'm getting on this. ESPN, I'm coming for my $124.99.
Ivo Aslan sucks, man. I don't think I can comfortably take him. but I certainly I've made so much money betting against the Tafas. How much money did you make? I made enough money to pay for all their hospital bills after all their fights.
Think about it. I had two different bets at plus 1,100 and plus 1,600 on his brother or this guy to lose, the Tafa to lose by fucking submission.
Yeah.
So I mean, $3,000 ish.
It's the easiest money you'll ever make in your life. Give me.
We're not on that fight. We were on Crute versus Erslan, aren't we?
Huh?
I said Crute was going to win on the ground. What did you say?
I said Jimmy Crute was winning.
Okay, so now we're on Tafa versus Aslan. Okay.
Yeah. I thought. Sorry. Those names
are
are
very
very
similar.
bad.
It's my bad.
No, I thought you said Aslan. That's why I just broke. I just got right into my pick and broke it down.
I said Erslan. That's where
I know. Yeah, this is terrible.
So you're taking Crute. Moving on. I don't want to pick the Juggernaut Junior Tafa here. It feels like they're giving him a winnable fight because, like, in one of these situations, it feels like we're going to get fat guy knocks out bodybuilder.
Yeah.
But I want to think we get it in neither situation. So I'm taking Ebo Aslan and fuck both the Tafas.
Absolutely.
Fuck the Tafas, fuck the McQuins, and fuck. Watch Knuckle, folks. The movie Knuckle.
Great film.
What was he say? Fuck the Joyces and the McQuins.
Didn't he soak his hands in oil and shit?
Aldi James Joyce. I'm gonna forget Aldi James Joyce.
All right. Well, without further ado, we've got Carlos the Black Jag Ulberg versus Dominic Reyes.
Wait, did you take Tafa or Aslan?
I picked Aslan, bro. I broke down the fight before you. Remember, I thought that this is a regular who's on Aslan situation or Erslan. No, Erslan's on first. Aslan's on first.
Man, this is an interesting fight. Carlos Black, and I like how they did the topology pictures. You got Black Jag with his belt. You got Dominic with his belt. They're kind of facing each other, and it's showcasing how, in a lot of ways, it's a mirror matchup. In terms of I don't know. It just 6'4", 77-inch reach, 77-inch reach. That's what I mean. 34 years old. I mean, they're the same age, they're the same height, the same reach. And they fight to finish on the feet, and they are not interested in grappling, and they both are really good at what they do. And I want to believe that Dominic Reyes is going to steamroll Black Jag. I want to believe Dominic Reyes is going to fuck him up. That would mean a lot to me. And
the stain on Ulberg's career will be when Jamal Hill had his knee injury and Anthony Smith said he'd step up, and Black Jag decided he was going to pull the John Jones Chael Sonnen situation and said, nah, I'm not fighting no Anthony Smith.
Yeah. And I mean, it's like, okay, he's got clean technique, but against who, right? Compared to Dominic Reyes' technique against the elite of the elite now, Black Jag did beat old Jan Blachowicz. Close fight. He beat Volkan Ozdemir.
Didn't beat Jan Blachowicz.
Yeah, I mean, that was a close fight. And yeah, you knocked out Menafield. I mean, I have a hard time not picking Dominic Reyes here. I'm going to go with Dominic Reyes. I'm picking Dominic Reyes. It might be stupid. Who knows what the line's going to be, but I'm interested in, let's see what the line is. I'm interested in Dominic Reyes here.
And the odds would be outrageous on Black Jag. If I were to imagine, I would imagine that he is coming in here at like a minus 450 favorite. People are writing off Dominic Reyes. And if you would have said that to me 2022, 2020, 2021, sure. I mean, he got knocked out 3 times in a row, but since then, he's looked great. The Nikita Krylov knockout, sure, Nikita Krylov's on a 2-fight skid right now. Knocked out Dustin Jacoby. Now, say what you want about Dustin Jacoby. I think he's a great fighter. I think he's had a bad night in the office a few times, but he's also been robbed of some fights that he certainly, in my opinion, should have 100% won. Disposed of Anthony Smith as one should. I'm going to go with Ulberg for my official pick. gonna be honest, this isn't a card that I'm touching anything on, but I just can't, in good faith, tell you that Dominic Reyes is going to beat a kickboxer who's just as athletic and just probably more fast, just as athletic or more athletic, better technique for sure, and younger with way less miles on him, is going to lose to Dominic Reyes. So, like Luke said, they have a lot of virtual identicality. One thing that is not virtually identical is the age here. Blackjack's 34. I think, Dominic Reyes is 35. It seems like he's so much older. But that brain's a lot older. He's been knocked out 4 times in his last 7 fights. He's played football his entire life. He's probably had 1,000 concussions. Give me Carlos Ulberg. But the Devastator will be a good hedge opportunity because of the fact that he's going to be like a plus 350 underdog, I'd imagine, in this bout.
It's just that a lot of Ulberg's opponents, especially his last ones, right? Like if you look at the matchup with him and Jan, all right, he's taller than Jan. If you look at the matchup with Ozdemir,
he's been bigger than all of the guys except for like Kennedy and Chukwui, which is bad.
Right. And so this is the first time it's kind of, like I said, a more like an equally as athletic opponent who's probably way more definitely more experienced and way better strength of schedule, way more well-rounded probably. I mean, I don't know. So it'll be interesting, but I'm going with I'm going with my boy. So I was taking the odds are actually out for this, Alex. So let's see. So I'll go through my full picks and I'll tell you how many underdogs I have, and then we'll get out of here. But the way they have them listed on FanDuel, at least, Elijah Ellison is an underdog plus 118. I took him. He's listed. I'm going to go in the order of Tabology for now, but Oban Elliott. Oban Elliott is minus 136, slight favorite. Love the odds. Cam Ralston over Andre Petrosky. Cam Ralston is actually plus 114, slight dog. And we're 2 weeks away, so these are going to change, right? Then we got Sutherland over Tafa. He's plus 122. Elijah Ellison over Brando Petrovic. He's plus 118. And then I picked Rolando Bedoya, or didn't I switch to Malarkey? I think
you picked Malarkey.
Yeah, I picked Malarkey. So it's dead even. Minus 113, minus 113 on FanDuel.
Okay.
Jamie Malarkey, Bedoya. Then I got Michelle Montigue over Luna Carolina. She's minus 200. Colby Thickenese is coming in
plus
at
280.
No. This is easier. Hold on. Plus 116.
Okay.
So a lot of really slight, like a lot of close lines here.
Navajo Sterling, huge favorite.
A little bit. Rodolfo Bellato plus 186. To Sterling's minus 245. Then I got Thionora. Thionora is going to be what the fuck is this? Oh, minus 220. CC, Charlie Campbell. Charlie Campbell is plus 126. So again, slight dog. Matthews minus 590.
Disrespect.
Jack Jenkins minus 330.
I love that.
Ibo Aslan minus 162.
What about Ivan Arslan?
And plus 164. Jimmy Crute is
minus 200.
Minus 215.
What about Carlos Ulberg versus Dominic Reyes? That's the last one you got to go through the
And Carlos Ulberg is sitting at +1. Carlos Ulberg is -245. Dominic Reyes is +186.
Yeah, that's not bad. I would have expected Ulberg to be a much steeper favorite. If you're rolling with me, you're gonna take Ulberg, Aslan, Ebo Aslan, Jimmy Crute, Jack Jenkins, Jake Matthews, Tom Nolan, Lumaluk Bone Me, Navajo Sterling, Colby Thickenese, Luana Carolina, Jamie Malarkey, Alicia Ellison, Louis Sutherland, Andre Petrosky, and Oban Elliott.
And the triple P certified picks are Oban Elliott, Louis Sutherland, Alicia Ellison, Colby Thickenese, Jake Matthews, Jamie Malarkey. Jamie Malarkey, Thickenese, Jake Matthews, Jack Jenkins, Jimmy Crute, Ebo Aslan. And Ivan Erslan. No. Sorry. And Jimmy Crute and Ebo Aslan. This is fucking confusing. So 4, 8, 9 Trophy certified picks. 9 Trophy certified picks. Oban Elliott, Sutherland, Ellison, Malarkey, Thickenese, Matthews, Jenkins, Crute, Aslan. And that'll be that.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the end of an era. The perfect parlay pursuit is dead. There will never be.
We should probably finish out the year under this format.
Nope.
You know what I mean?
It's dead. It's over.
6 years, a year 6 kind of formatted situation.
6 years of laughs, cries, lot of fights, lot of great picks. Some perfect parlays were hit. The pursuit has been achieved. But ladies and gents, your boys are done. It's over now. You gotta move on. We all gotta move on. Dan's moved on. We all gotta move on. I can change. You can change. Dan has changed.
And with that, boys, go to the Patreon, get the open bet sheet. We just gave you our early predictions. Thank you for joining us. We'll check back in with you guys next week, but could be the week after. We got the picks for you here, though, and let us know what you think. We love you guys. Thank you so much for being a part of this journey. For those of you who've been here for 6 years now, thank you very much, and we love you.